Alright, well, greetings, welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Broken. Season 1, Episode 2. I am a fool. Now, this episode gets its name because I'm knowingly going to take this airplane up when I don't have enough skill, nor, of course, a complete add-on. Because here's why. I always wanted to be an MD-11 pilot as a child, especially a Swissair one, thanks to Little Mammoth Media's The Big Plane Trip, and I don't care if the add-on's not complete yet. Nature Desired, Puddle Waterfowl, and Save a Lab Rescue Swap. And get some things for the MD-11, such as pure maple sugar, which means, of course, we're going to swap some puddle ducks, geese, swans, etc., as well as get some labs from Save a Lab Rescue. Everybody had a big meal, so nobody's going to cannibalize anybody on board. That's good. So, of course, our route desired is we're going to fly from South Bend, Indiana to Rutland, Vermont, USA. The aircraft desired, Hotel Bravo, India Whiskey Alpha, Obwalden. Nature's desired, give some geese some flying experience under the supervision of humans. We're even going to have some brown Chinese geese, saddleback Pomeranian geese, even more so, utility French Toulouse geese, Emden geese, and many other geese. And almost all of them were rescued from markets, dumped at local water bodies, or hatched from eggs purchased by people mentioned. And of course, today, this is what we're going to do. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Labrador 5-4. Today's adventure takes us from South Bend, Indiana to the picturesque hills of Vermont. Our MD-11, lovingly named Obwalden, awaits. But first, safety briefing. Of course, meet our co-pilots, like Abby the Labrador and our feathered friends, such as a saddleback Pomeranian goose that was dumped on Lake Pauline a long time ago, when I was there. And of course, today's mission involves swapping for some labs at Save Lab Rescue, and of course, picking up Puddle Fowl, like I said. Quacks, honks, barks, like... And then... We're ready. Okay, at this point, let's go ahead and start the safety briefing. While I request for pushback. While the safety briefing is going on, here's my emergency plan here. If I have an engine failure before view 1, I will land straight ahead. I'll close the throttle and yell to oncoming traffic. If I have an engine failure after view 1, I'll come back the way I came in. Otherwise, let's of course get this thing going. So, while the briefing's in progress, we're going to use thrust reversers to get out. Because I totally did not mean to put this thing on. What's that? Ready to fly mode. Okay, we're all here, so let's go ahead and request for pushback at this point.
South Bend ground Labrador 5-4 with Mike ready to taxi IFR.
Labrador 5-4 taxi to and hold short of runway 27 left by taxiway. Foxtrot cross runway 27 left Charlie Golf. Contact tower on 135.675 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 27 left via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 27 left Charlie Golf Labrador 54.
Okay, let's look around the plane here. Okay, we're living the childhood dream. Say again, look. We're living the childhood dream. Fly Swissair MD-11. Okay, at least we can soft field test this thing, I guess. Alright, while we're at it, here we are. While Goosebird sits in my lap. Attention geese, today you are flying apprentices under human supervision, of course. And actually it's more like, attention geese, today you are flying apprentices under human supervision, of course. We've got geese of all kinds. Brown Chinese geese, saddleback Pomeranian geese, utility French Toulouse geese, Emden geese, geese of all breeds eager to learn. Yeah. We're ready. Teach us to fly like seasoned aviators. Okay. So I chose to fly at dawn because I wanted to. And not to mention that when I used to watch Little Mammoth's The Big Plane Trip a lot, dawn was just fine when to watch. Actually, it was more than just fine, it was brilliant. Feet, fine. Oh. I was reading the transcripts. Whatever ATC was saying to me. And we have climb maintain 6,000 feet, fine. It's an early morning flight to go to Vermont. Even though it's late afternoon here in Albuquerque from the time being I record this video. Ooh, Creeper Van. What are you doing here? Creeper Van, what are you doing here? See that? Creeper Van, what are you doing here? Why? Little Mammoth Media does not like creepers. Creepers. Okay. Since it's dark outside, of course I might stay in the cockpit for this round. Okay. Alright, flaps extend now. Of course, we go to runway 27 left, at least the hold short point anyway. Here, of course, we have the dawn skies. And of course, we're taxiing to the hold short point. Okay, we can soft field test. See how this thing does on soft surfaces. This thing referring to the MD-11. Since we're here, now we're talking. Let's watch. Listen to the takeoff.
South Bend Tower Labrador 54 at runway 27 left ready for departure IFR to Kilo Romeo Uniform Tango.
Labrador 54, altimeter 0.13 at 7. Cleared for takeoff runway 27 left.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 left Labrador 54.
Alright, I'm going into the cockpit now. Okay, it does pretty well on soft fields. Yeah, referring to the MD-11, that is. There we go. 2, 1, now. This video may look dark. I can tell you this right now. I am a fool. For sure, I am.
Labrador 54, contact South Bend departure on 132.05. Good day.
132.05 Labrador 54. Goodbye. South Bend departure Labrador 54 is passing 2,000 feet, climbing 6,000 feet.
Landing gear. Labrador 54, South Bend departure altimeter 30.13. Continue to go Juliet. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
I'll be quiet.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Climb and maintain 14,000 feet, Labrador 54.
Landing gear. Landing. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Be quiet.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing.
This thing. Don't say what I just said. You understand? Okay. We just broke ground from South Bend, Indiana. Beautiful morning, because I wanted it that way. And not a bad time to execute a flight.
Labrador 54, contact Chicago Center on 135.9. Good day.
Going to 135.9 Labrador 54. Chicago Center Labrador 54 is passing 8,200 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
Labrador 54, Chicago Center, altimeter 30, 123 contact. Continue to Golf India Juliet.
Golf India Juliet.
Labrador 54, contact Chicago Center from 127.55. Good day.
127.55 Labrador 54.
Come on.
Goodbye. Chicago Center Labrador 54 is passing 10,400 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
Labrador 54, Chicago Center, altimeter 30, 123 contact. Continue to Golf India Juliet. Labrador 54, climb and maintain flight level 240.
Climb and maintain flight level 240 Labrador 54.
This shouldn't hurt just to steer at my hand. It usually doesn't.
Chicago Center Labrador 54 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54, continue to bend your charting and following heading 0990, proceed onward.
Continue to bend your journey and following heading 0990, proceed on course Labrador 54.
Beautiful morning, as you can see here.
Labrador 54, contact Chicago Center from 133 for distance 155. Good day.
134.15 Labrador 54. Goodbye. Chicago Center Labrador 54 is passing flight level 220, climbing flight level 240.
Labrador 54, Chicago Center, leader contact. Continue to down. Labrador 54, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Good.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Labrador 54. Alright, let's just see what was said during climb phase. Decimal Flight Flight, Labrador Flight 4. Goodbye. Chicago Central Labrador Flight 4 is passing flight level 280, landing flight level 350.
Labrador Flight 4, Chicago Central, wait for contact. Continue to engine.
Wonder what lays below. There's Detroit Willow Run. I hope I don't go down Detroit. Something happens here. I pray I don't go down in Detroit, because that is not a safe place here in the U.S. It is not. Alright, now you're talking. There's Benjo.
Chicago Central Labrador Flight 4 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4 continues to Benjo journey and following heading 085 resume road navigation.
Continue to Benjo journey and following heading 085 resume road navigation. Labrador Flight 4.
Push to adjust rudder pedals. Man, push to adjust rudder pedals. I guess Goosebird dropped a crumb or something, I'm not sure what. It's bright, let's walk away. It's not as bright, just walk away. Remember what Delilah said? You walk away. Come on. There you go. They don't look at the sun. So what, even though you have to look forward when you're at attention, this is something else. You all better. Hopefully this is safely.
Chicago Central Labrador Flight 4 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4 continues to Charlie Romeo Lima journey and following heading 085 proceed on course.
Continue to Charlie Romeo Lima journey and following heading 085 proceed on course. Labrador Flight 4.
soon as I'm done with Cleveland
Cleveland
Center.
Center, Labrador 54, flight level 350.
Labrador Flight for Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to Charlie Romeo.
Okay, since we're at cruising altitude, let's do this. I mean, I don't like going to the back of the plane, so I'm not going back there. Everyone got everything for me? Y'all taking care of the back okay? Alright, y'all taking care of the back okay? Okay. Since that sun's really bright, I'm going to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. Heard that correctly. As we have reached our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, it's time for our in-flight brunch. Today's special is poop on a boat. It's a sushi boat filled with fiber goods for everyone. Dogs, ducks, geese, and humans. And don't forget the toy poop emoji just for fun. One of the labs. Woof! I'll have the seaweed roll, please. Disclaimer. This fictional episode is inspired by my creative vision. Any resemblance to real characters is purely coincidental. Enjoy the flight. Of course, no actual poop was harmed in the making of this recipe. It's purely fictional for entertainment. And of course, in this flight, the poop on a boat is being served, and I can tell you the story about it. Alright, the poop on a boat comes from a YouTube video, something along the lines of JJ the Jet Plane Misbehaves on Mother's Day, Grounded, made by someone named Christian. And supposedly he lives in the Great Lakes area. And Christian, guess what? We're serving poop on a boat in this airplane, just like JJ the Jet Plane said he'd make. So the episode begins using Harry's AI voice. Oh great, it's Mother's Day, and that means I can't hang out with my friends. Then Mr. Plane comes in the room, supposedly JJ the Jet Plane's room, and says, "That's right, JJ the Jet Plane. Today is Mother's Day. It's not about your friends, it's about your mom. Let's go downstairs." Yeah, that's somewhat true, because even though that day is technically supposed to be about our mothers, you know, my mother invites friends over for Mother's Day anyway. We have friends come over to our home on Mother's Day anyway. And so Mrs. Plane says, "So since it's Mother's Day, can you give me breakfast?" JJ the Jet Plane, "I'm going to make a poop on a boat. Ha 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 ha." Using VR logic. There. Now time to give it to my mom. Mrs. Plane, "Gross. What is this? It's a poop on a boat. JJ the Jet Plane. You disgusting, creepy plane. How dare you give your mom a poop on a boat?" That's it. You got one strike. 4 more and you are grounded. Mrs. Plane, "Do you have a card for me?" JJ, "Yes. What does this say?" I'm not even going to say what was written in the card. JJ the Jet Plane. How dare you give your mom a mean card? That's it. You got 2 strikes. 3 more and you are grounded. You evil, cruel, creepy plane. Yeah, you should watch that video. Okay, and about having duck passengers, geese pilots, things like that, here's how I came up with the idea. Once upon a time I had a toy Barbie airplane when I was a child. And of course, I have a toy Ferdinand, you know, from the movie Babe, perhaps the duck, which I think looks like a goose, according to that toy. So I put him in the cockpit of my Barbie airplane, and my mom's like, "Goose pilot, duck passenger." Actually, it was like this, since I put my toy ducks and some of my toy dogs in the cabin of the Barbie airplane. She goes, "Duck passenger, dog passenger." And when she saw Ferdinand in the cockpit, she's like, "Goose pilot?" Yeah, Goose pilot? Of course. That's how it went. So, of course, one day when I was on Lake Pauline in real life, visiting Vermont in the summer of 2001, which was an estimate of like 23 years ago from the time being I recorded this video. Almost 24, I guess. My mom tells me that there's a goose on, of course, Lake Pauline, and I still don't know if that was a saddleback Pomeranian goose, of course. Maybe saddleback Pomeranian is just vague.
Contact Cleveland Center on 119.905. Good day.
119.905, Labrador 54. Goodbye. Cleveland Center, Labrador 54, flight level 350.
Labrador 5 for Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to Charlie Romeo.
Okay, so how Goosebird came about was I was on the shoreline of Lake Pauline a long time ago, along the docks, and I heard all this honking going on, and it was the same goose that my family would point out, and of course he'd be honking, and I could tell it was a gander by features, things like that, and it would swim by the dock. And I picked up a psychic reading saying that I could totally see that goose as a Swissair pilot. Let's conscript it. So that's how it came about. Because Goosebird, in this episode, since I'm making twists about that goose on Lake Pauline, he was drafted by the Kempe Tai to be a pilot. And eventually Goosebird ended up being a pilot for Swissair. So here's what happens about Goosebird. While everyone eats their poop on a boat. Alright, now the legendary saddleback Pomeranian gander. A true avian maverick. His transition from puddles to jumbo jets is a tale whispered among the clouds. Here's how it unfolded. Goosebird's early days. Goosebird, with his distinctive saddle markings, honked with ambition. Sometime thereafter being dumped by his, of course, or even before, he was dumped by a sicko owner. His saddle markings. He himself, with his distinctive saddle markings, honked with ambition. He'd flap around Lake Pauline, dreaming of altitudes beyond reeds. One day, he'd spot the Swissair fleet, like an MD-11, 747, etc., flying overhead. His webbed heart skipped a beat. Avi's recommendation again. Avi, one of our first officers who's an English Labrador Retriever and talent scout, noticed Goosebird's determination. "Captain," he barked. "That gander's got the right stuff." The captain raised an eyebrow. "Avi? 747? MD-11? Avi nodded. "Trust me, Goosebird's glide to weight ratio is off the charts." So then eventually Goosebird, was enrolled in advanced goose flight. His curriculum, of course, jet stream navigation, honk your way through headwinds, cockpit etiquette, how to control the autopilot, how to share control with autopilot geese, in-flight snacking bagels at 30,000 feet. Bagels part, for an occasional treat. Maple syrup pack, thanks redo. Goosebird struck a deal. For every syrup drop transported, he'd flap thrice, Vermont's sweetest contract. The 747 and MD-11's whatever cockpit smelled of aviation fuel, goose determination, and a hint of maple. And during his final check rides or whatever, Goosebird sometimes donned his aviator goggles, custom sized for his beak. "Ready, Captain." He'd taxi, geese formation behind. Avi gave a proud tail wag. Goosebird's honked, synced with engine roars. This is it, he thought, from Puddles to Pratt & Whitney. Sometimes skyward, soaring literally. I'll be at 747 and MD-11. Goosebird's wingspan spanning continents. Over the Atlantic, he glimpsed over Lake Champlain, the Puddle where it all began, as well as, of course, Lake Pauline, which looks like a river. "I'm no fool," Goosebird honked. "I'm a gander with turbofans, under human supervision, of course. Honks heard round the world literally again. As they cruised, Goosebird heard honk messages to other geese below. Alright, clear skies ahead. Tell the albatrosses we're hiring. Someone fetch me a croissant. Sometimes Goosebird would go to Switzerland, especially at Zurich Cloten International Airport. Goosebird adjusts his feathers, flaps down. Fly like a seasoned landing, the captain advised. Or fly like a seasoned gosling, the captain advised. 747 touchdown. Whip, or whatever he was flying. Whip feet triumphant. Goosebird saddle glowed with pride. Post-landing honks now with Swiss chocolate. Tower's voice crackled. Swissair 747 MD-11 containing the Goose. Well done. Salute your cacao mission. Goosebird preened. Avi, we did it. Avi grinned. You're no fool, Goosebird. You're a gander who soared across the oceans and duty-free aisles. This tale is purely fictional. No actual ducks, dogs, geese, or whatever are certified to fly MD-11, 747, etc. Of course, in this creation. The other things you should know is that, like I told Microsoft Copilot this.
Contact Cleveland Center on 127.7. Good day.
127.7 Labrador 54.
Okay, I guess he's talking.
Cleveland Center Labrador 54 flight level 350.
Hey, what are you trying to do?
Labrador Flight 4 Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to CFGT.
Okay.
Cleveland Center Labrador 54 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue to CFGT, turning and following heading 120.
Well, of course.
Continue to CFJGT turning and following heading 120 Labrador 54.
Can't be this way for long. Alright, while we turn, of course, since this add-on is still incomplete, please give me dialogues on what I should tell my viewers, stating that this add-on, in parenthesis, although still incomplete, is like a structure that is habitable. I lived through a major remodeling. Copilot, certainly. Here's a dialogue you can share with your viewers to convey that the add-on, despite being incomplete, is still functional and is going to continue to undergo improvements, things like that. Although it really says it's still functional and has undergone significant improvements. In other words, certainly, here's a dialogue you can share with your viewers to convey that the add-on, despite being incomplete, is still functional and has undergone significant improvements. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Contact Cleveland Center on 132.45. Good day.
132.45 Labrador 54. Goodbye. Cleveland Center Labrador 54 flight level 350.
Labrador Flight 4 Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to CFGT.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our continuing flight simulation journey. Today I want to talk to you about especially our Swissair MD-11 add-on. Now I know it's still a work in progress, like a house undergoing major remodeling, but hear me out, I lived through it. Foundation of functionality. Think of this add-on as the foundation of a house. Sure, there might be some exposed wires and half-painted walls, but guess what? It's habitable. We've got working engines, functioning avionics, and a cockpit that's more inviting than ever. That's why I have for foundation of functionality for number one. And as for number two, the cockpit chronicles. Remember when the cockpit was just a shell? Now we've got clickable switches. So again, remember when the cockpit was just a shell? Now we've got clickable switches, realistic displays, and even, of course, acting co-pilot Labrador named Avi, along with, of course, Captain Goosebird, under supervision, seated in my lap. Yeah, we have a saddleback Pomeranian Goose seated in my lap. And of course, thank you, especially for your good compliments. Abby's been barking orders mostly about maple syrup and geese, but hey, teamwork makes the dream work. Flight testing. We'll continue to take this bird for a spin, cruising over Vermont's rolling hills, chasing geese formations and dropping virtual maple sugar. Since there are bugs, like that one gooseberry accidentally engaged the emergency slide. But we're learning, so yeah, there are bugs, like that one time gooseberry accidentally engaged the emergency slide. But we're still learning. Or he's done that quite a bit. To our viewers, thank you for your patience. You're witnessing the transformation. There's going to be error 404s all over the place. And yes, we're still missing a lot of features. But hey, Rome was not built in one day, or a flight sim add-on for that matter. So buckle up, we're flying an add-on that's both work in progress and labor of love. Remember, even incomplete structures have stories to tell, and ours, it's a tale of geese, dogs, ducks, syrup, and soaring dreams. Now, of course, other dialogues are purely fictional. No actual Labrador co-pilots.
Cleveland Center on 1 tree to decimal 255. Good day.
132.25, Labrador 54. Goodbye. Cleveland Center, Labrador 54, flight level 350.
Labrador 54 Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to CSGT.
Alright, no actual Labrador Retriever co-pilots or Goose co-pilots, or in some cases even duck co-pilots, were harmed during this video's creation. Anyway.
Cleveland Center, Labrador 54, requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54 continue to CSGT. Turning and following heading 120.
Right here.
Continue to CFJGT, turning and following heading 120, Labrador 54.
I don't agree with this.
Cleveland Center, Labrador 54, requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54 continue to CSGT. Turning and following heading 090 with low navigation.
Nah, that's something here.
Continue to CFJGT, turning and following heading 090, resume low navigation, Labrador 54.
Alright. Since everybody finished their poop on a boat, here are things that occur. Scenic views, autopilot takes charge, in-flight entertainment, snack time, geese formation practice, cabin chatter. I already told you about the Barbie airplane, is why we have duck passengers and geese passengers as well as dog passengers, along with, of course, geese pilots, duck pilots, and of course dog pilots, under supervision of humans. Like, I have the goose seated in my lap, gander that is, that I saw in Lake Pauline. Yeah, he's seated in my lap when the time being I record this video. At least I'm pretending to. And what you saw just now was, of course, acting Captain Goosebert steering the airplane. Now I know what I did wrong during some previous recording sessions. I did not program a key. So for the time being, mostly better. I recorded this video. That's how this is doing.
Labrador 54, you are 400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight
1350 Labrador 544.
We're almost to New York. Or Canada, even, to make matters worse. We're almost to Rochester, my father's hometown. Oh, by the way, you know, things with him are good for the time being. With me and my father, for the time being, things are good. Just FYI.
Autopilot.
What are you doing?
Autopilot. Autopilot. Altitude.
Come on. Trying to see 090. Just using it by hand usually doesn't kill anyone here. Well, what's a wheel here for?
Altitude.
Labrador, flight 44, 500 feet below your threat altitude. Climb and maintain flight line 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 Labrador 554.
Come on. Want to do this? I bet you do.
Labrador flight 4, contact Toronto Center on 135.3. Good day.
135.3 Labrador 554. Goodbye. Toronto Centre Labrador 55 flight level 350.
Altitude.
Labrador flight 4, Toronto Center radar contact continue.
Sounds just wicked bright. I took you outside because of the sun. You're really not supposed to look at it.
Toronto Centre Labrador 54 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador flight 4, turn right, heading 125.
Turn right heading 125 Labrador 554.
far from the New York state line. We're getting close to Vermont. While we're at it, let me show you something very briefly what I said about remodeling here. See, look, you can still look inside here. We go out. Looks like a contemporary home. This, as well as this. So now let's back in the cockpit.
Labrador Flight 4, you are 1,000 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 350.
Descend and maintain flight level 350, Labrador Flight 4.
See what I meant? Like that cockpit door fades in. Looks as if I've been through remodeling, right? Let's go outside.
Labrador Flight 4 contact Cleveland Center on 132.4. Good day.
Going to 132.4, Labrador Flight 4. Cleveland Center, Labrador Flight 4 is at flight level 365, descending flight level 350.
Labrador Flight 4, Cleveland Center, radar contact. Continue early.
Cleveland Center, Labrador Flight 4, requesting vector next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue turning following heading 125.
Continue to Sterling turning and following heading 125, Labrador Flight 4.
Yeah, I gotta keep you out of the sun. I understand it's gonna take that to get there, so.
Cleveland Center, Labrador Flight 4, requesting vector next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue turning following heading 125.
Continue to Sterling turning and following heading 125, Labrador Flight 4. Cleveland Center, Labrador Flight 4, requesting vector next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue turning following heading 125.
Continue to Juliet Hotel Whiskey turning and following heading 125, Labrador Flight 4.
Well, we can't be far from Vermont now at this point. So what are y'all supposed to do? Alright, let me give you a briefing about Vermont. Port side ready? Port side ready? Got everything? I trust you're gonna get it. So here we go. Vermont. Let me get to the briefing.
Labrador Flight
told Microsoft Copilot, please give me a briefing for Vermont, especially when it comes to swapping labs at Save a Lab Rescue, picking up puddle geese, and getting things that are usually best vended in Vermont. You know, vended in Vermont, as in sold in Vermont. So again, please give me a briefing. Give me a briefing dialogue for Vermont, especially when it comes to swapping labs at Save a Lab Rescue, picking up puddle geese, and getting things that are usually best vended in Vermont. Copilot tells me, certainly. Let's create a briefing dialogue for your Vermont adventure, complete with lab swaps, puddle geese, and local treasures, as well as puddle ducks and swans.
Please expedite your descent flight level 350.
Team, gather around. Our mission, Vermont. The Green Mountain State. Here's the lowdown. Our animals on board, especially our Labrador Retriever Abby, will lead the way. She's going to be swapped for a time being for a fellow lab at Save a Lab Rescue. Remember, these labs have stories. Some rescued from tough situations. Treat them with kindness. Puddle geese pickup. Next stop, the shores of Lake Champlain, Lake Pauline, and each and every water body there, including Lake Rescue. We're picking up puddle geese, which consists of brown Chinese, saddleback Pomeranian, utility French Toulouse, Emden, you name it. They'll be our honorary co-pilots. Keep an eye out for their web landings. Here, could you all get in okay? Alright, everybody's in the first class cabin listening to the briefing. Now, Vermont's not just about maple syrup, but we'll grab some pure maple sugar. It's like jet fuel for the soul. Also, check out the New England Maple Museum in Rutland. Sweet history awaits. And don't miss the Vermont Country Store in Weston. Nostalgia galore, like stepping back in time. Remember, team, dreams take flight here, whether in Labrador Retrievers, geese, duck, swan, or syrup-soaked skies. Syrup-soaked skies, that is. Let's soar, quack, and syrupify Vermont. Remember, this briefing is purely fictional. No actual animals were briefed during its creation or harmed. Here's how some of the animals, especially the ducks, dogs, geese, and swans, ended up as pilots and other flight crew. Like, for example, how did the Kempe Tai, some with psychic abilities who sensed the saddleback Pomeranian goose, known as a gander, was dumped on Lake Pauline in Vermont. Spare the geese from markets, rescue them from being dumped, and hatch everyone else. Co-pilot's response? Ah, the fascinating response. Our feathered co-pilots, let me weave it for you. The Geese Chronicles. From markets to cockpits. The Kempe Tai psychic sensing. The Kempe Tai, with their mysterious psychic abilities, sense the plight of the saddleback Pomeranian goose. Male goose, of course, gander. In parentheses, our esteemed gander. So the Kempe Tai, with their mysterious psychic abilities, sense the plight of the saddleback Pomeranian male goose. In parentheses, our esteemed gander. His honks echoed across Lake Pauline, a desperate SOS. They had even spared him from market fate, way long before he even went in the market, knowing he was destined for greater things like navigating the skies. Dumpster diving rescues. Under moonlit Vermont skies, the Kempe Tai, though primarily, of course, stationed in Colorado, in my fictional world, that is, although not written in there. Alright, here we are. Dumpster diving rescues. Under moonlit Vermont skies, the Kempe Tai donned cloaks, slipped into market alleyways. Their mission: rescue geese. They found Emden geese, abandoned like crumpled receipts. No more dumping, they vowed. Egg quests and hatchlings. The Kempe Tai, guided by cosmic goose constellations, sought eggs. They purchased some, liberated others. In secret nests, they incubated eggs. Chinese geese, French Toulouse geese, and more. Each egg cradled hope. And lo, the goslings emerged, fluffy and wide-eyed. Well, like fuzzy and wide-eyed to begin with. Their first words? Honk, freedom! Freedom! And of course,
Labrador flight for you are 400 feet above your assigned altitude. Descend and maintain flight level 350.
Descend and maintain flight level 350, Labrador Flight 4.
see, unofficial flight school with Abby. Abby, our Labrador first officer, took charge. Wings level, beaks up, he barked. Wings level, beaks up. The geese practice flapping, taxiing, and emergency quacking and honking. Ave taught them the art of gliding in flight, that is. Maple syrup pact. The geese made a pact for every syrup drop will flap twice. Vermont sweet currency. And so over the rolling hills they soared. Geese, labs, ducks, swans, an MD-11, and of course each and every airplane alike, as well as other aircraft, that is. Post-landing honks. Hopefully as we touch down in Rutland, the geese will honk in unison. Alright, Captain, mission accomplished. And Kempe Tai nodded. Their psychic feathers ruffled. Geese, you're free.
Labrador flight, please expedite your descent flight level 35.
This tale is purely fictional. No actual Kempe Tai or psychic geese were harmed during storytelling. Very high. So I asked co-pilot, how did the saddleback Pomeranian male goose end up as a Swissair MD-11 pilot? Correction, how did the saddleback Pomeranian male goose end up as a Swissair pilot? In parenthesis, especially for the MD-11. Co-pilot's response, the legend of our saddleback Pomeranian male goose. Let's call him Gander Goosebert, and his unlikely ascent to Swissair MD-11 co-pilot status. Gather around fellow aviators for this feathered tale. This is where we're at, trying to find Vermont.
Labrador flight, please expedite your descent flight level 350.
Uh-oh, I guess we're getting too close to the Vermont state line. I can tell a story as much as I can. The Goosebert chronicles from puddles to cockpits. Lake Pauline's honks. Gander Goosebert honked with purpose on Lake Pauline in Vermont. His honks echoed across the water, reaching the ears of aviation enthusiasts. Kempe Tai, of course, who watched the goose get dumped, of course, communicated an acknowledgement somehow. Acknowledgement. Fate was afoot. Even an MD-11 pilot for Swissair off-duty, as well as 747 pilots and other Swissair pilots off-duty, of course, nodded their heads in acknowledgement. Fate was afoot. And of course, the Kempe Tai communicated that secretly. Abby's recommendation. Abby, our Labrador first officer, walled over. Captain, he barked, that goose has potential. I've seen him flap. He's got the right attitude. The captain raised his eyebrow. Abby, are you suggesting Goose as our co-pilot? Abby nodded. Trust me, he's got the glide and flight factor. Unofficial flight school for feathers. Goosebert was drafted into Abby's flight school for feathers. Under human supervision. His syllabus included flapping 101, how to defy gravity without feathers ruffled, honking harmonics, mastering cockpit communication, navigating clouds and crumbs, practical guide.
Cleveland Center on 125.875. Good day.
125.875,
going on out here?
Labrador 54. Goodbye. Cleveland Center, Labrador 54 is passing flight level 360, descending flight level 350.
Labrador 54 Cleveland Center radar contact continues.
Alright, the maple syrup pact is Goosebert struck a deal. For every syrup drop they transported, he flapped twice. Vermont sweet currency. The MD-11's cockpit smelled of aviation fuel and maple dreams. First Goose check ride. Goosebert, at that time, donned aviator goggles. Ready, acting captains. The MD-11 taxied, or whatever he was flying. Geese formation behind. Abby barked encouragement. Goosebert's honks synced with engine hums. This is it, he thought. Skyward soaring and flying. The Swissair MD-11 lifted off like it normally did, or whatever he was flying.
Labrador 54, you are 1,400 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, Labrador 54.
Alright. Goosebert's webbed feet barely touching the floor. Which they hardly ever do anyway, because he sits in my lap. Over Vermont's rolling hills, he glimpsed Lake Champlain, and of course Lake Pauline, where it all began. I'm no fool, Goosebert quacked. I'm a gander with wings. Or more like he honked. I'm no fool, he honked. I'm a gander with wings. And honks heard around the world. As they cruised, Goosebert honked messages to other geese below. Freedom is aloft. Till the other fowl were hiring. Which means till the other, especially Puddle, ducks, geese, swans were hiring. And someone fetched me a bagel. Someone fetched us all some chow of some kind. Landing with grace.
Labrador 54, please expedite your climb, flight level 350.
Sometimes Rutland's runways would await. Goosebert would adjust his feathers. Flaps down, the captain said. Fly like a seasoned gosling. Goosebert touched down. Webbed feet triumphant. Post-landing honks. Taro's voice crackled. Since we flew this flight earlier today. Labrador 54, well done. Geese salute your syrupy mission. Goosebert preened. Abby, we did it. Abby grinned. You're no fool, Goosebert. You're a gander who flew. For real. You know, also while we're at it, let's do
Cleveland
this.
Center, Labrador 54, requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54, turn left, heading 065.
We're here.
Turn left heading 065, Labrador 54.
Okay, we're in New York State. We're getting close to Vermont. So before we get to Vermont, let me check the port side one more time. Okay. Let's say this. Especially because of Goosebert's previous owner. Let's say this. Alright. We all agreed not to eat anybody aboard? no in-flight brawls, things like that. It didn't happen because this is my fictional world. And of course, the ducks and the geese, they have a kempe tie right next to them. Here we are. Gather around. Before we embark on our Vermont mission, there's a hidden chapter, especially in Goosebert's life, that tugs at our feathers, fur, etc. Goosebert, our saddleback Pomeranian gander, was once owned by a mysterious figure. This owner, shrouded in secrecy, chose to dump Goosebert on Lake Pauline. Why? That's the question. When we catch him, our mission extends beyond maple syrup and geese formations, as well as duck and swan formations, as well as, of course, lab packs. We're screening the previous owner, especially their mental well-being. Did undiagnosed neurological conditions play a role? Was it a heartless act or a desperate one? Goosebert, despite abandonment, soared beyond puddles and flew beyond puddles. His wings carry both scars and strength, and perhaps, in an unraveling secret, we'll find answers. Alright. Assuming that Goosebert's owner can make it to court, and is, of course, competent to stand trial, say this.
Descend and maintain flight level 350.
Descend and maintain flight level 350, Labrador 54.
Let's say this. Goosebert's owner. Ladies and gentlemen of this court, we gather here today to address a grave matter, the treatment of our feathered friend Goosebert. His previous owner stands accused of heartless abandonment, to name one of the charges. Goosebert, I give the opening statement. Goosebert's owner, you are charged with neglect and cruelty. Your actions have ruffled more than feathers. They've shaken our trust in humanity. Goosebert waddles. I'd expect Goosebert to waddle to the witness stand. Kempe tie, of course, translate his declaration of, I deserve better. Expert witness, Abby the Labrador. And you've flown with Goosebert. What say you? Abby barks, Humans, listen up.
Please expedite your descent. Flight level 350.
Geese need love, not lakeside dumps. Hopefully we can get Goosebert's owner to be hereby sentenced to
Labrador 54 contact Cleveland Center on 127.475. Good day.
127.475, Labrador 54.
Yeah, we can get Goosebert's owner sentenced to treatment for any, all, each and every
Labrador 54 is at flight level 370, descending flight level 350.
undiagnosed medical conditions.
Labrador 54
You're
Cleveland
lost.
Center radar contact. Continue to BIEW.
Alright, so Goosebert's owner will be sent to treatment for any, all, each and every undiagnosed neurological conditions, discuss diagnostic sessions with a compassionate therapist, re-education on sympathy, kindness, and pancake flipping. May this trial serve as a reminder. Our actions echo beyond puddles and lakes. Treat all creatures with care. So Goosebert's owner will be, of course, sentenced to be diagnosed formally for neurological conditions. Yeah, so Goosebert's owner, he's going to be diagnosed for real.
Labrador 54, please expedite your descent. Flight level 350.
Yeah, let's go ahead and descend even more now at this point. Alright, when we get to Vermont, we're going to have some other missions to do there too. Like, for example, let's say this. Alright. Copilot suggests to, of course, Copilot suggests this dialogue. This is fantastic. Can we add a secret mission to find the best pancake stack in Vermont? Absolutely, Copilot's response. Absolutely, let's add a secret mission to our Vermont adventure. Operation Pancake Stack Quest. Our goal is to uncover the fluffiest, most syrup-soaked yeah, absolutely. Let's add a secret mission to our Vermont adventure. Operation Pancake Stack Quest. Our goal is to uncover the fluffiest, most syrup-soaked pancakes in the Green Mountain State. Here's how it's going to go. Operation Pancake Stack Quest. Briefing. Locate and devour the best pancake stacks in Vermont. Team, animals, and humans. Team, animals, and humans. All pancake enthusiasts.
133.25 Labrador 54.
Codename
Goodbye.
Project Flapjack.
Boston Center Labrador 54 is at flight level 365, descending flight level 350.
Labrador 54, Boston Center radar contacts. Continue to launch.
Boston Center Labrador 54 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54, continue to launch turning and following heading 1255.
Continue to launch turning and following heading 125 Labrador 54.
Alright. Mission details. Number 1, pancake reconnaissance. Animals, scout local diners, cafes, and breakfast joints. Look for telltale signs, maple syrup rivers, powdered sugar trails, and satisfied smiles. Abby, our Labrador first officer, sniffs out pancake hotspots. His snout knows. Uncover tastings. Waterfowl, blend in with the locals. Order stacks incognito. Dogs, wag your tails subtly. We don't want to blow our cover. Maple syrup intel. Respectfully interrogate sugar makers. Ask about syrup quality, viscosity, and compatibility with pancakes. Geese, use your honks to extract top secret. Geese, use your honks to extract top secret syrup ingredients. Stack ranking. Rate each stack on fluffiness, flavor, and syrup absorption. Humans document pancake profiles. Take covert photos for our classified files. As humans document pancake profiles. Take covert photos for our classified files. Extraction point. Meet back at the MD-11. Share findings over blueberry-infused coffee. Whisper, our saddleback Pomeranian gander, will announce the winner with a triumphant honk. Remember, this mission is classified. No leaks to the waffles or French toast. Pancakes are serious business. Handle with care and a side of whipped cream, as well as Vermont maple sugar syrup.
Labrador 54, please expedite your descent flight level 350.
Disclaimer. Operation Pancake Stack Quest is purely fictional. No actual syrup rivers were crossed during its creation. Okay, so right now let's see where we are now. Okay. We gotta get a vector to next waypoint.
Boston Center Labrador 54 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador 54, continue to Charlie Alpha Mike turning today following heading 080. Resume road navigation.
080.
Continue to Charlie Alpha Mike turning and following heading 080. Resume
point, everybody prepare for landing at this point. Always check your navigation. Or should that be the case? When they start calling for descent, I'm going back in the cockpit. Just FYI. There we go.
Descend and maintain flight level 210, Labrador Flight 44.
$210. I told you. hold on. Oh, the port side of the airplane is, of course, New York State. At this point, we're entering the Vermont state line. Are we? Charlie Alpha Mike. Prepare for landing at this point.
7, Labrador Flight 4. Goodbye. Boston Center Labrador Flight 4 is at 9,800 feet, descending 5,700 feet.
Labrador Flight 4, Boston Center, 3 Emerald 1 radar contact. Continue to calm.
So we get one more vector just to be sure.
Boston Center Labrador Flight 4 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue to calm turning, following heading 065.
Fine.
Continue to come turning and following heading 065 Labrador Flight 4.
Beautiful Vermont right below us. We're not at destination yet. Off the starboard side of the aircraft is Ludlow somewhere.
Labrador Flight 4, contact Boston Center on 135.7. Good day.
Going to 135.7 Labrador Flight 4. Boston Center Labrador Flight 4 is at 6,400 feet, descending 5,700 feet.
Labrador Flight 4, Boston Center, 3 Emerald 1 radar contact. Continue to calm.
Alright, we're 30 miles away from Rutland, from what it looks like. Looks like we'll come in through a south runway. This thing's buffeting. There's a pilot. There's a problem here.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
Rutland is just right out the window. Just 30 miles away. Looks like we're coming to the south end. So we just happen to be there. going around. Never mind. It's always placed on my head. Things are always placed on my head.
Landing gear. Landing.
You don't like something, walk away. Is what they say. You don't like something, walk away. This beautiful Rutland. There's one thing you probably did not know about either of us. We're using a Swissair MD-11, to disguise. As if, of course, we're Swiss neutrals coming in. But in this episode, here's what our true colors are. We're going to find people like Goosebert's owner. And of course, we're going to bring Goosebert's owner to justice for dumping him on Lake Pauline. Alright, let's...
Boston Center Labrador 5 requesting vector to next waypoint.
Labrador Flight 4, continue to come turning and following heading 005.
Continue to come turning and following heading 005 Labrador 54.
Maybe this was a bad idea.
Sync
Right,
rate.
right on.
Sync rate.
Now at this time.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
It's just like a landing at Zurich, as seen from the big plane trip. Low Mammoth Media's version, that is. Well, of course, we're manual landing. So that's where my skill level is. At least for now.
Sink rate. Sink rate.
400.
Sink rate.
Come on, come on.
Pull up.
Rotating minimum.
Pull up.
Get over the trees.
Pull up.
Minimum. 200.
Sink rate.
100.
Sink
Hold on.
rate.
20.
Pull up. Sink rate.
10.
I didn't tell you hold on for nothing. Alright. Those barks, honks, and quacks well done. Sounds like we're hearing them. Let's go with the fire engine and the creeper van. Just off the port side of the aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rutland. I really do thank you for flying with us today. It appears as if I have 4 hours manually flying the MD-11. Again. Good to have it again. Yeah, referring to the MD-11.
Stabilizer. Stabilizer.
Good to have this plane again. Mind. A little more. Wow, you drove right through a fire engine. Not really good, but no, you may not have anything. Creeper van. You may not have anything. Oh, have. Oh, you may not. You too. You may not have anything either. Oh, well, I'm not going to dispatch equipment. Now it's time for one more thing. Even though ATC interrupted me a lot, and of course I had to, say the same things over and over again, thanks to the interruption, or things like that. That's why this episode is called Broken. And now, of course, about the remodeling, whatever you want to say. This is what I mean. Even though this add-on is not complete, because I've been in new buildings under construction before, it also used... This is one thing I came across. I'll say this is one thing I came across. As well as this and this. Pretty cool, huh? I'm just go right in. Okay, since we're here, time for a post-landing assessment. Alright. Puddle Fowl Rescue. So your next mission is Puddle Fowl Rescue. And of course get some maple sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rutland. It's just like Switzerland, is it not? Something's telling me not to go to the rear of the aircraft. And I'll follow that. Otherwise, that is our show. If you like, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you all around.